Alright, hello. This is ODQ, and I am enjoying a little Everquest. I am still in Western Wastes. Everybody currently playing, I'm sure, is in the more current zones that are near top level. Oops. Taking it. Oh, man. Did you see what I just did? I noticed there's only 3 minutes left on my lesson of the day, but I clicked this first. I'm like, oh man, I better click that off because it typically, it wouldn't have hurt anything. It would just pop back up, but I clicked it right when it executed, and now I will not have a lesson of the day today. Oh darn. No lesson to be learned. Well, I'll still get AA experience. And I am making this video I think I shared my leveling method before. I'm learning a little bit better how I'm doing it and how what exactly how it's going to work. And basically, it takes around 50 days to do Overseer XP to get levels. And during that time, if you play, I've been playing, probably a total of about an hour a day only, maybe an hour and a half at the most. About an hour a day. I've been very easily getting the AA experience also as I'm leveling. And I have the new pet, currently 117. So I'm guessing it's around a level every 10 days, roughly, the Overseer. I would say a nice conservative estimate is about 2 months to get max level, as far as level goes. But the thing is, as you're going, you're getting your AAs too, if you just do a little grinding like I'm doing at the same time. And then when you're doing that, I'm finding it pretty easy to max out at the very least the important AAs, but to max out level all the AAs I can spend on per level as I go. As long as I do lesson of the day, that's really the key, right? You do lesson of the day, you get a half hour of like plus 50%. What is it for me? I think it's based off of it's 100% for me. I think it's only 50% depending on how old your account is. I think the percentage is adjusted a bit. So you get 100% bonus for 30 minutes once a day, basically. So that's cool. And you grind AAs, you're going to be able to get around 30 AAs for about a half hour per lesson. Just kind of casually doing it, just killing trash mobs. Occasionally, if you bump into a rare, you'll get 5 A's and 1 tick, but ultimately, really, it's not that big a deal. As a matter of fact, I've been kind of avoiding the rare here. I've just been focusing whenever I actually see them. I don't really need them or anything. I just holler in the zone, hey, Grildar's up. Let somebody else get them. And I just log off because I'm not playing very long at a stretch. Once in a while I'll bump into them. So this basically is my method. I've got currently have 35 A's saved up for level, as you can see, 117. This is about 3 days worth, I think. Maybe less of work. I didn't start right on cue with the X pack. I kind of forget exactly when I got it. I got it, and then I didn't. There was a break during Thanksgiving. I didn't play at all for a while. So, on average, I'm guesstimating it was probably about 3 million for a crown. Jeez. It's probably about, oh, daggum it. Palette haze needs to get up on there. Anyway, so yeah, so guesstimation, even about 2 months, which leaves 10 months. So after 2 months, I'm going to be max level, and I'm going to be not only max level, but I will be max AA'd also. All the bells and whistles of the fancy AAs that you can get. And then I'm going to move into the more current zones just to check it out, see what's what, and do my sort of grindy gameplay / music rocking that I like to do when I play. And that's what I'm doing. So, I don't know. I understand a lot of people don't really play the same way I do necessarily. This is very, very old school, very boring to most people. This is my relaxing time. So this is going to be a short video. So far it's only been about 6.5 minutes, and but I just wanted to give, I posted on Hammock J's video a leveling guide that is a good guide, especially for boxers and groupers and other people a little more game social than I am. And so he did, a nice little rundown. He's really good. He's got a slide that marks all the important points of his talking points. So it's almost, he's giving a presentation basically, and does pretty good with it. So yeah, he's a good one to look at. Look up Hammock J, and he's got a good guide on leveling from 116 to 120. But he didn't really touch on my method all that much, except just to simply say that Overseer is a good way to do it if you're solo. This, so I wanted to point out exactly how much time you can expect it to probably take if you solely rely on only Overseer for your character to get through the levels. If you grind on mobs as you go, it's very reasonable to expect that by the time you get your max level in a couple months, you're going to be max 8 also. Not to say that you wouldn't be the same way, probably even sooner than that, using the other methods. But, EverQuest has a history of limiting what you can do and what's possible solo, because it's really meant to be a group game. The modern game has been sort of shoehorned in different ways, and people basically don't really group anymore. They just play in box teams. So there's a lot of individuals still playing, but they have more than one account, and they play more than one account at a time, and that's just what they do. I don't do that. I just keep it simple, and I play a necromancer that is really, it's one class that's really designed to play by themselves. And so that's what I've kind of do. Back in the day, I played a ranger most of the time. I've played a cleric before. Back when grouping was a little bit more common, people played, it's much more common. It's really the standard to play one account at a time. Sure, there were people that boxed even back 20 years ago, but it was far less common, far less common than it is now. It's really the main way that people play the game now, and I'm the outlier. And people that rely solely on grouping are also outliers, playing, one tune at a time, relying on grouping to get through the tougher parts of the game if they're playing a class that isn't as independent as a necromancer. So it's just more convenient for me to play my necro with, real life times situation. You can't, I'm not 20 something anymore, I don't have the time or the energy to play the game 6, 10, 12 hours a day, whatever people do. And, you know, it's just kind of, oh, come on, really? I just hit the button again. It's wasting mana, but I got mana to burn, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so A is the focus on. I'm going to try to come up with some other than just making that, you know, sort of flippant comment about leveling. A is the focus on. The focus AAs as you're going. It's important to grab, as a necro, to grab the AAs that you use for your dots that you're using. So I got that one, I got grip, and there's one, decay. So I got these three. It's about 180 AAs worth of, you know, so far of these. And as I go, I'm going to fill these in along with, you know, whatever filler ones I can do. And here, enhanced decay, I'll probably grab some other ones as I get through this level because I've already gotten as many focus AAs as I can. I've already maxed out my pet for this level and AAs for Fortification Fury. As a pet class and a guy that I used to play a mage a good amount too, I think no matter what pet class you are, if you're a Beast Lord, Mage, or a Necro, the very first, given the mobs of the current game, these are the very first AAs you should always focus on, because there's too many mobs that have lots of special crap that makes it either a super pain to try to kite or root rot, or just impossible because they're immune to root or, you know, movement slowing mechanisms and stuff like that. So you rely on your pet to tank, and if you're going to rely on your pet to tank, you need to make sure it's the strongest it can, especially when you're going through a level bump like we are now. You want to make sure your pet is as strong as possible to make sure they can tank, because if the pet can't tank, you're very limited in what you can do to get experience or to get gear and stuff like that. So that's my logic with the AAs. So I always do the pet first, and then I'll do the focused ones and anything that enhances the dots, and then I just kind of basically fill in the other stuff as I go. Before, you know, when I start getting close, around 80% or so on this, I'm gonna start banking the AAs to the max of like 230 in the bank. But up until I get to that point, I'm just gonna spend these AAs on whatever I can spend them on at this level. So that's how I do that. And so far it's turning out to be a pretty good method as far as, you know, being ready with AAs when I hit the max level. I'll be able to get everything I can. And of course, you know, once you get 120, I'll have 230 AAs to be able to splurge on the 120 AAs, but I'll still have to do some AA work. I won't be completely max level, but I'll be most of the way there. The AA work is something that is not that big a deal. It's pretty easy to get them just through grinding mobs. These mobs right here are an expansion pack back, and the AA experience I'm getting like almost 2 AAs per kill. Always 1, then occasionally I'll get 2 for, like every 5th mob I think I'll get like 2 AAs. So it's, you know, pretty decent. I think I'm going to end the video here pretty soon. If you have any questions, and it's a pretty simple thing I'm doing. It's not exactly rocket science or anything, like I said in a comment. A lot of people are not willing to wait. You know, once the next pack comes out, especially after they've bought it, they want to go straight to the new zones. And that makes sense. I understand. They just want to go right straight to the new zones. I'm just a little bit more, I don't know, I just like to be super prepared, I guess, because yeah, I'm still kind of old school, and the idea of dying unexpectedly in the game, there's that sort of knee-jerk reaction, fear. It's kind of leftover fear from the old days of, corpse retrievals and just the general really big pain your character dying really was way back like 20 years ago. It was an absolute pain in the rump. It was not a fun time, especially in a new zone that had mobs that were very dangerous to your character. Dying to one of them, having to try to get back to your body and drag it to a safe spot, and then spend probably easily a half hour to an hour just spamming chat, begging for a cleric to raise you. If you're in the group, which most of the time you were usually with a cleric that could res you in the spot. Is fine, sure. But if you're trying to solo, or if you're kind of soloing as you were looking for group, and you were just kind of soloing to pass the time a little bit, which wasn't getting you much experience, but a lot of even other classes besides Necro and the classic solo classes back in the day, druids were like that and stuff like that. They would solo until they got the call from a group that wanted to take them into their group wherever they were at. It was very easy to die when you were by yourself. So I like to be fully prepared before I jump into new content. Plus, it's nice to kind of wait for all the tryhards to go do the thing first, and then I'll show up later. And the areas where I'm going to be in are areas that a lot of people are kind of done with. They might have them on, especially if they're like part of big raiding guilds and stuff. They'll have certain things on farm status, so I'll have to kind of fight the farmers to get rares and stuff like that to try to get gear on my own. So there is that a little bit, but when I say fight, I mean just try to get in somewhere where somebody isn't taking the named, right, or the rare mob, and sometimes that can be a challenge to do, especially I typically I just kind of try to find something fairly remote so that I'm not bothered, or somebody that is less than nice sees me by myself at a rare camp and they just kind of move in, just don't even say anything and just start taking it over, knowing full well that I can't really stop them. That's irritating. It's just rude. I know technically it's not against the game rules anymore, but it's still just rude. And that agitates me a bit. But it is what it is. If the game is that important to them and they're willing to be a jerk like that, I'll let them be that way. And just have confidence in knowing that my real life is probably a hell of a lot better than what they got going on. So there they go. Let them have their little pixelated fun. It's not going to really affect me that much. Anyway, that's LWDQ. Have a great day. Happy New Year, and hope you had a Merry Christmas. And we'll see you next time. I'm probably not going to do another video for at least another week or so. Just going to concentrate on holiday stuff and just kind of, do my own thing. But I'll be putting up another video maybe in about a week or so after the new year. So have a good one. Thanks. Bye.